Hey, what's up everybody? I'm SuperSonicJB, and you're probably wondering yourself right now, SuperSonicJB, why do you have a knife stuck in you right now? Well, you see this Kurumi plushie I have right here got real angry at me the other day for buying a Rem plushie, and this led to a lot of bad stuff happening. At first everything seemed peaceful between the two, but when I got home the other day, I found Kurumi trying to drown Rem in a bathtub. And on another day, I saw her trapping Rem in a laundry basket filled with tons of dangerous weapons. And to top it all off, yesterday I saw Kurumi throw Rem down the stairs into a random lava pit that I bought off of Amazon. I mean, it had free shipping and everything, plus you never know when you truly need a lava pit. But for real, I think it's pretty clear to see that Kurumi really doesn't like Rem at all. Now, how did I try and solve this problem? Well, at first I tried talking to Kurumi, trying to see why she was so angry all of a sudden. And then when that didn't work, I tried taking her favorite knife away, which led to me getting stabbed here. But don't worry, this isn't the first time I got stabbed. I mean, last week I saw an order of death online that was 50% off of Amazon. And you know me, I'm a sucker for sales, even if the purchase is death itself.
Oh, hello there. I have a order of death for one SuperSonicJB. Would that be you?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, this will be real quick. Actually, hold on a minute. I forgot to ask for your signature.
Ah, good times. Wait, where's Kurumi at? And I don't see Rem either. Oh hey, there they are. Oh no, Kurumi's making Rem play those awful special stages in Sonic Heroes! That's the worst torture she could put her through yet! I guess that's what life is like as a Yandere. Ah, the Yandere, everyone's favorite type of anime character. Next to the tsundere. And the kudere. And a dere. See, everyone loves a good Yandere. Yanderes have been a staple in anime for many years now, and lately they've become more popular than ever before. What can I say? Weebs love having girls or guys that are completely obsessed with them. I'll even admit, I enjoy some Yandere characters in anime and in video games myself. In recent years, there's been some Yandere-themed video games that have been released, and I thought it'd be fun to play through and review some of these games. Now, I originally got inspired to make this video a few months ago while I was playing that Yandere AI game called With You Till the End. I had fun with that game and want to check out some other Yandere-themed games. Now, to keep it fresh, in this video I'm going to be talking about Yandere games that I have not covered before in past videos, so I won't be talking about games like Psycho no Tsutoka, Yandere Simulator, or With You to the End for the second time. And since today is my 7th year anniversary on YouTube, I wanted to have some fun, and try not to get killed by some crazy chick with a knife. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out some Yandere-themed video games. Alright, up first on our list we have a game called Love Love School Days. Wait a minute, what did that title say again? Love, love... Oh god. School Days!
Somebody say school days!
So Love Love School Days is a love simulation survival horror game. In this game, you the player, and playing this cool new visual novel-like game, where you try and make girls fall in love with you. So a lot like DDLC, but with 3D character models. The main character uses a virtual reality brain link to make him really feel like he's in the game, which is pretty cool. Hey, if brain links become an actual thing in the future and they let me see my waifus, that'd be pretty hype. But knowing modern society, if that ever happens, we'd probably wake up to our brains trying to advertise Raid Shadow Legends or something. So we load up a save file and get to walk around the school and interact with several waifus. Yeah, they all hate me. Sheesh, what did I do to get all this hate? I also love how the mouse icon becomes a kiss symbol when talking to people. And don't worry, at least our friend here is a nice guy to us. Heck, he even gives us a rundown on all the girls in the game. Oh hey, this one has feelings for me, how nice. So yeah, this girl here named Makina is actually our girlfriend since the player was doing her route. We meet up on the rooftop and she confesses her feelings to me. Yeah, it has all the cliche anime tropes here. After Makina confesses, the credits start rolling. Wow, that game was short. However, it turns out the player didn't even want to do Makina's route in the first place. He was trying to romance another girl and got stuck with her instead. That's like me asking for a car and getting this instead. However, right before we try and start a new game, we get some error messages. And we click on new game enough times, the title screen changes and becomes much darker. And we hear someone talking back to us. Then we get transported into the game, and everything's gone dark. And this is the point where the game truly becomes a horror game. Turns out Makina has corrupted the rest of the characters in the game and is now hunting us down in the school. Now what you gotta do is collect certain objects hidden in the school, and you gotta destroy the game so you can escape. You also gotta do all of this while the Yandere Makina is searching for you. And if she sees you, then you better run for the hills. There's also some items that'll help protect you, like repair kits that'll heal you, cameras that stun Makina, girls that lure her to a certain room, warping devices that let you travel anywhere, etc. As you play through the game, the school bell will ring, and certain classes will be active, which have different effects on the game, Like sports days gives you more stamina, and this weird lady doesn't stop commenting on Machina running a relay.
Machina-chan, hayai.
Physics eliminates the sounds of footsteps, science has this creepy guy chasing you around, and insurance makes you watch a bunch of Geico commercials. I'm more of a progressive guy myself. This game does have a difficulty setting, but it can still be a tad challenging. The school is just so dang huge, and finding items that you need to progress can be a chore. Plus in certain areas there are scripted events where Machina jump scares you, so you have to be extra careful. I really wasn't expecting her to jump out of the pool and attack me. My guy! Oh my god! There's also a chance that Machina sets around the school and either deal damage to you, give you a bunch of pop-ups that you need to close, or switch the game's language to Japanese. Okay, that last one might have been a bug, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, in a gymnasium, I ran into this Dark Souls looking boss that killed me in one shot. I was definitely caught completely off guard when I ran into this guy. I thought this game was about yanderes, not praising the sun. And if you die, you'll get a pop-up that asks if you want to watch an ad to revive yourself. And if you say yes, it shows up one of those cringy level up ads, but with the characters in the game in it. Psych! Turns out it was just a prank by Machina to troll you. Haha, you actually died and had to start all over again, losing all your progress. Great. Just great. Next, sometimes Machina will break the fourth wall, comment on you recording her, and will try to show off some hentai trying to get your video demonetized.
That son of a bitch! How does she know my weakness?
And this game does have multiple endings, and some of them are a little weird to get. Like for example, if you don't even play the game and just jump up and down your room several times, then your neighbor will come over to your room, go full JoJo's Bizarre Adventures on you, and you'll die. Like, how would anyone know about this ending without help from the internet? There's also an ending where you and your friend decide to stop being simps and give up on love. There's one ending where Machina tries to kill you with Dragon Ball Z style moves, but you kill her instead. And there's many, many more where that came from. But like I said, unlocking some of these endings can be really complicated. But even still, I think this game's actually pretty good overall. It controls really well, the game is fun and scary, and it made me laugh way more than Fireplacing ever did. So that's a major achievement in itself. Is it a perfect game? No, it can be glitchy at times, the graphics are pretty meh, and it can be tough to navigate through the school. But in the end, I found this game to be a lot of fun. Thank God it had nothing to do with the actual anime school days.
Oh, it doesn't have anything to do with school days? Oh man! Well, I'll see you next time you get East Kite, buddy!
So that was Love School Days, and honestly, I thought it was a pretty good game overall. Now the next game I'm going to be taking a look at is a visual novel style game. It's called Crimson Gray. Now I saw some people play it before in the past on YouTube and everything, but I never played for myself. So I guess we're going to go and change that today, so let's check it out. So this is Crimson Gray, and trust me, this title is not a lie. The game really is gray. Just like this wall. It is gray, right? I'm part colorblind, so it's tough to tell. So Crimson Gray is a visual novel game where he plays this guy named John, who is a young man with severe depression. In fact, his depression is so bad that he takes tons of drugs every day, hoping that it'll help him. He also goes to therapy every day, and even that still isn't enough to make him feel any better. He does have some friends, but in all honesty, they seem like real jerks, both to him and to everyone else. Gee, I never thought someone named Classmate Number 1 and Classmate Number 2 would have been such jerks like that. Fuck you, John!
This guy? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Why are you classmate 1? I want to be 1.
So in this game, John meets this creepy, mysterious girl named Lizzie, who's been watching him a lot lately. John's so-called friends think that she's into him, but he's too depressed to see. Over the next few days, John opens his locker to find notes in them. They start off simple by saying things like cheer up, but as the days go by, they start getting more disturbing. In fact, one day there was a fire on the roof where this tree was at, where people would confess their feelings towards each other underneath the tree, but eventually it got burned. It was clearly an act of arson, and John later finds a note in his locker saying that I didn't like that tree either, and it even has a frowny face, so clearly it's a bad sign. And to nobody's surprise, Lizzie was the one leaving the notes in John's locker, and was also the one who burned the tree because John didn't like it himself and thought love confessions under a tree were dumb. John later then finds Lizzie on the roof again, and she confesses all her feelings to him. However, John still doesn't believe that anyone could possibly love him, but then Lizzie pulls out a knife and gives John more of the crazy eyes. And not these types of crazy eyes, no, I'm talking about these types of crazy eyes. Look, Lizzie, I'm sorry you didn't get a reboot to your old Disney Channel show, but you don't have to take it out on me. John tells Lizzie she needs to get help and nearly kills himself, but Lizzie saves him from becoming the next Humpty Dumpty. She then asks John if he loves her back, and we get to pick how we feel about her. So yeah, in this game, the choices that you make a big impact on the story. You could be nice to the Yandere girl, or be a total dick to her. For me, I played it safe and went with the nice guy route, so that I could live to see another day. The choices you make also affect the game's ending, so if you want a happy ending, be careful what you say. I did say that I loved her, but John admits that it'll take a little while for him to fall in love with her. Thankfully, she's fine with that answer, so I can stay alive for now. Eventually, John and Lizzie end up going out on a date, and they both ending up having a great time. John also manages to convince Lizzie to take some pills that'll hopefully help her mental issues. Also, I just want to mention this, in this game, John sees Lizzie staring at him from outside his house, but acts like it's nothing. I don't know why he didn't instantly call the cops, but whatever, I've been in similar situations myself. Gotta get out of here. Nope. Whatever. Eventually, Lizzie convinces John to come over to her house, and her house looks pretty empty and creepy, not gonna lie. Then she appears out of nowhere holding an axe.
Maybe I'll fetch the axe.
I guess she wanted to ask him a question. She then tells me to hold still, and we get the option to either beg for our life, stand firm, or run away. She ends up knocking John out, and we wake up in her basement all tied up. Lizzie plans on keeping him hostage here, and now you have to find a way to escape. At this point in the game, you are given multiple choices on how to start your escape attempt. Lizzie will be gone on certain days, getting stuff for you, or running some errands, and you have to figure out how to escape. However, performing certain actions like trying to remove your chain uses up a lot of time, and eventually Lizzie will return home, and if she sees you doing anything suspicious, she could end up killing you. The game gives you some interesting choices here, like kissing Lizzie shows off a pretty funny scene, and she even quotes Shadow the Hedgehog at one point.
This is who I am.
Come on, it's not a SuperSonicJB video without a Shadow the Hedgehog joke. Look, at one point, she brings down a camera and wants to film John so she can watch videos on him. I'd imagine it goes something like this. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm SuperSonicJB and welcome to my new vlog of being stuck in a basement with a crazy lady. Subscribe. Eventually, I break my chain and I give him the option to escape or stay in the basement. If you escape, you'll get outside and immediately run into Lizzie, who is holding the axe again, and she kills you and herself, leading to a bad ending. However, if you stay in the basement, Lizzie will find you and will be happy you didn't try and run away from her. John even promises that he'll stay by her side, and this leads to her letting him leave. But they stay together as a couple, and this leads to a much better ending. Now, like I said before, there's multiple endings, and some of them can be pretty weird and dark. It can be a little hard to get a good ending in this game, but in the end, I did manage to get a happy ending with John and Lizzie living happily together. So overall, Crimson Gray was actually a pretty good game in my opinion. It had a great storyline, the art and music were great, and the game had so much replay value for all the different endings. Heck, there's even a sequel to this game, which I didn't have time to check out, but maybe someday I'll look at it in a future video. So yeah, I'd recommend Crimson Gray to anyone interested. Now those first two games were actually pretty good, but this next game on the other hand, well, let's just say it sucks. Like really badly. This game here is called Scary Wife HD Anime Horror Game. And no, I did not make up that title. This is what the game is officially called on Steam. That's like Nintendo naming their newest Mario game Red Guy HD Cartoon Platformer Game. So the story in this game is that you, the player, wake up in your mansion. But there's this mysterious girl walking around it. She claims to be your new wife, but she acts pretty scary towards you. You have no memory of her whatsoever and plan to make an escape. In order to escape, you have to collect 10 notes scattered across the mansion. So in a way, this is just another Slenderman clone, but with a big titty anime girl stalking you. I mean, come on, why run away from this when you can run away from this? For real though, it was pretty obvious right from the get-go that this game was going to be pretty bad. I mean, in the opening scene, you get this super slow text appearing with some poor grammar scattered in it. I realize what I must do. Yes! Once we beat up the game, we're greeted to some awful controls. Your character moves at a snail's pace, and they constantly walk like they're a drunk guy on New Year's, bobbing back and forth constantly. You also click on objects to interact with them, but sometimes the game just doesn't work properly and won't let you pick up stuff unless you either start mashing like crazy or restart the game. Also, these graphics just don't fit with the character models at all. I mean, your wife here just looks like she was made using an AI app, while the game just looks like a generic map in Gmod. Oh yeah, speaking of your wife, boy is her AI stupid. She won't notice you at all unless you touch her. Like, look at this. I'm standing right in front of her here, and she somehow doesn't notice me. Heck, she's not even scary at all. The word scary and horror really shouldn't be in that title. Oh, and if she somehow does catch you, it leads to one of the most pathetic jump scares I've ever seen in the game. That's it? That was supposed to be a jump scare? Heck, the skull on the game over screen is scarier than that! Oh, and it gets way worse, believe me. If you die, the game tells you about all the progress you made and gives you some coins that you can use to unlock the next level. Wait, there are more levels in this game? Are you kidding me? And once you die, you have to start all over again, all the way back to the title screen. And you have to sit through this long text again, which you cannot skip. Like, really? Now this game is not that hard to beat, it's just so boring. You pick up these notes with creepy art on them, and avoid your wife. And that's it. Also, the sound effects in this game are just plain awful. Especially this sound effect where your character is breathing really heavy like. Like, what the heck was that? Are you trying to do ASMR or something? I mean, I could do better than that. The game does have some security cameras that you can put through to see where your wife is located at. But boy oh boy, is the quality here horrible. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, that's just the first level, I'm sure the next few levels will be way better. Nope! It's literally the exact same thing as the first level, but now you have a different wife. This game sucks. Who even made this crap? Let's see, the developers are Scary Creepypasta and Anime Girl Studio Nugraho Industries. Wow, if only they had the company Horror Game Makers to work with them, then I'm sure it would have been way better. And don't worry, I'm not the only one who didn't like this game. Just look at this review. English hard, no plot, only booba. Not worth the time or money. Refund ASAP. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Now, the next game we're going to take a look at is called Space Yandere. Because clearly Yanderes are a real threat if you're traveling through outer space. Space Yandere is an RPG Maker style game made by Horror Shop Games. They're a small indie studio who makes cute horror games and are responsible for making games like Mother and the Child. In this game, you actually play as a cute robot who is created by the Yandere girl who is named Luna. She names you Digit and you're going to be her new assistant. Turns out the reason why you're out in space in the first place is because the apocalypse happened on Earth and now you're traveling to a new planet where you plan to live on. And you've almost arrived to your new home. I also want to mention the art style in this game looks great. It reminds me a bit of Undertale in a lot of ways. Heck, even the talking sound effects are similar. Luna wants you to go get a treat for her lover, a guy named Alex. And at this point, you're free to walk around the map. You also can press shift to do this little spark attack, which comes in handy, especially later in the game. Now, while walking around a spaceship, you can interact with other characters, pick up these items called doodads, and zap a bunch of other robots. You can also eject yourself into outer space, which, yeah, it instantly kills you. But I'm glad I still have the option to do it. I mean, if I'm gonna get injected into space, I'll at least make sure I have a copy of Garfield Threat of Space Lasagna on me. Anyways, you eventually find Alex and give him a treat like Luna asked us to do. I also love how if someone asks you a question in this game, your response is either positive or negative, which fits considering I'm controlling a robot. We also meet some other characters like Sparks, Eden, and Melvin the Discord mod, who's obviously evil. I really gotta give the game credit here. The atmosphere feels amazing with all the different robots running around and the cool views of outer space in the background. But come on, we all know why we're really playing this game. We want to see Yandere in space! The next day we give Alex another treat and find out that he has a love relationship with Eden, and this causes Luna to be very upset. In fact, she gets so upset that she convinces Melvin, the Discord mod, to corrupt all the robots on the ship so that they'll kill everyone except Luna and Alex, and they can be together forever. We do manage to eventually collect all 10 doodads, and this leads to Luna building a detection device for us. This device will let us know when Luna is near us, so it definitely comes in handy. Eventually, Luna and Melvin make all the robots go crazy, and we have to run away from her. Now here's the thing, this game also has multiple endings, and if you're not careful, you can easily get a bad ending. For instance, before Luna loses it, and the robots take over, you'll want to have Sparks remove a chip off you, or else you'll get corrupt like all the other robots, and get a bad ending. Also, certain characters can die depending on your actions. Like Luna will ask you to give a cake to Eden, and if you do so, she will die of poison. Eventually, Luna goes full Yandere mode and chases you down, and you have to find the other crew members before Luna or any of the other robots catch you. Thankfully, you can fend out the robots using your spark attack, but this attack doesn't work on Luna. In fact, if she gets too close to you, it's an instant game over. I also gotta say, the voice acting here is really good. Luna's creepy talking while she's chasing you down easily puts shivers down your spine. They manage to find some of the other characters, then Luna finally confronts Alex and reveals her true feelings for him. This leads to Melvin getting angry at her because he thought she loved him and realized she was only using him, so he got all the robots to try and kill Luna. And he once again gets the option to either save Luna or let her die. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. If you save her, you get to fight an army of robots and a mother computer as well, but it's honestly a pretty fun sequence. Then you get to make your escape, and you can choose to either bring Luna with you or leave her behind. You also get an ending where the robots try to attack you again, and you can sacrifice yourself by ejecting all the robots into space. This leads to an ending where Luna changes her ways and becomes good and goes to a new planet with the rest of the crew. She even gets into a relationship with Sparks, and they end up finding Digit, who crash landed on the new home planet. And that's when the game ends. So, overall, I think Space Yandere is a pretty good game. Sure, I wish it could have been longer, but it was still a fun experience. Now all we need for them is to make Tsundere in space and we're set for life. Up next we have another RPG style maker game called Yanderella. What happens when you make Cinderella a Yandere? You get Yanderella, obviously. This game was created by a 3-person development team called Charon, who are no strangers to making Yandere themed games. This game stars a guy named Yutaro, who lives in a small, boring town. He has these two childhood friends named Hinata and Honoka, and these two both share feelings towards him. However, Hinata ends up moving away one day, and this leads to Yutaro going into a deep depression and becoming an edgelord. I mean, just look at his face here! He looks like he's planning to become a Disney Channel bad boy! Also, did he just say meep? Meep! Eventually, Hinata returns back to her old hometown, and the three of them try to rekindle their old friendship. Now, in this game, you walk around an over-the-top 2D map, and you can interact with objects and characters to gain knowledge about what's happening in the game. Now, yeah, the graphics in this game haven't aged super well, but this game is 10 years old, and an RPG Maker wasn't nearly as powerful back then, so I can understand why it doesn't look perfect. However, the game itself was actually pretty enjoyable. The story gets better and better as you play through it, the music is pretty good, and the game does do a good job making you feel creeped out at certain moments. I mean, just look at this scene. Good God, people! Now this game also has multiple endings. You can get into a relationship with either of the girls. However, if you pick one of them, the other girl will go full Yandere mode and will try to kill you. And trust me, it gets really dark in this game, to the point where you can get certain body parts cut off because you didn't love the Yandere. I would say, why doesn't Yotaro call the cops or something and get help that way? But it's a horror game, so we automatically know that the police are useless.
Hello? 911? It's an emergency. I'm being chased by a crazy Yandere chick.
Yeah, right, buddy. You've been watching way too much anime.
No, this isn't a joke. I'm being serious here. She has a knife and everything.
Yeah, right, buddy. You're real funny. What's next? You're gonna tell me that you have a Zelda body pillow?
No.
Now this game does have a Just Friends ending, and it's a way better ending than getting your crotch cut off. And just like a lot of the other games I talked about today, this game is also pretty short, which isn't bad, but it still would have been nice to see more. And since this game is an RPG, we can look at our menu screen and check out our skills. Holy crap, we can soil ourselves? I knew all this water would come in handy. Also, this game does break the fourth wall a bit, which is pretty cool. So overall, I thought Yanderella was a pretty good game, and I recommend it to anyone interested. Now let's change it up here and play a game involving a male Yandere. Here's a game called John Doe. Yeah, this title screen is giving me weird Mario Paint vibes for some reason. So this game is about a creepy guy referred to as John Doe, who stalks you one day. You first meet him while riding the bus, and he creepily stares at you for the entire ride. And just look at him! It looks like some discount Jet the Killer mixed him with the Joker! Now before we get any further into the game, let me just say this. This is a short visual novel game, and the story plays out differently depending on what actions you take. Something as simple as taking a shower can lead to a safer ending, while letting John come over to your house leads to a bad ending. I know, right? It's weird. Who knew letting a creepy stalker in your house would end up so horribly? Anyway, so you go to work and John ends up following you, and his shirt also has the power to change depending on his emotions apparently. He asks you for your name and you literally say, "You is your name." What?
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
I have told you.
Wow, this game was making Morbius jokes before he was even around. How amazing. John then tells us his name, but we get a small jump scare here, so we never actually really learn what his name was. But he just tells us to call him John Doe. He asks us if we're doing anything after work, and I say yes because I don't want this creep thinking I have no life. Besides, I do have actual plans to play Tears of the Kingdom later. We then run into him again after our shift, and he asks us if I like being scared. I mean, did you even see that clip from earlier, John? See, clearly I love it. He then asks us if he can come home with us. I instantly say no and get on the bus to leave. But so does he, and he continues to stare at us. When we get home, we notice John stopped following us. Thank freaking God. We do find this jar of that in our house, but we don't really get an answer on what it even is. Then we go watch some TV and the game ends. Apparently this is the ending where John lost interest in us, which I'm pretty thankful for because I wouldn't want to go on a date with someone with freakishly long fingernails like that. I mean, just look at those things, they're hideous! However, if you do let him come home with you, he'll surprise you while you're at home alone, then he'll bring out a knife, ask you if you love him, which I can always respond with yes, and will kill you, leading to the Doe really loves you ending. If he really loved me, then why did he kill me? I mean, I really love goldfish crackers, but you won't see me murdering someone over it. So, my overall thoughts on John Doe weren't really that great. This game is just way too short, the background art looks awful, and the story is just not that interesting. It's still better than Scary Wife HD though. Next game we're going to be taking a look at is called Yandere Escape Plus. In this game you get chased by a crazy Yandere girl as she's hunting you down in a school building. This game is pretty similar to Seiko no Sutoka and Love Love School Days in a lot of ways. But get this, it has English voice acting. Oh my God! So in this game you're some random guy who's been held captive in a school building. You wake up to find your friend who is trying to get you out of here, but then this crazy Yandere chick comes out of nowhere and kills your friend. No! She killed... What's his face? She says that she had to tie you down because you were trying to leave her. Gee, I wonder why. She then walks off to get us something to eat, and this is when we free ourselves and are free to run around the school looking for an exit. You pick up a key from your dead friend and have to head to the marked room where you'll find another key for another room, and you'll continue this process until you escape. And while you're running around the school, the Yandere girl will be looking for you. If she sees you, she'll start walking really quickly towards you and will start to stab you. You can hide in lockers to avoid her, however, some lockers are locked, so hiding in them isn't as simple as you think it is. Now, there is a difficulty setting in this game, so if it gets a little too hard for you, you can always change it, but it's still not the easiest game because this girl walks like she's a Flash on steroids. There was also a few times where she bugged out a bit and started doing loops in her area I was hiding in, and sometimes she just straight up teleported in her room before the door was even open. The map itself is also really big, and it randomizes every time you start over. The keys you collect normally are for rooms that are really far from you too, so good luck trying to avoid the Yandere. You can crouch to lower your noise level, which the game highly recommends you do in order to beat the game. This game also has multiple endings, one where you escape from the school, the other where you call the police and have to survive until they arrive, and the other where you kill the Yandere using a knife. Also, the devs are still working on this game, so hopefully we'll get more info on it and get to play other levels soon. Now, in my opinion, I thought this game was enjoyable, but not the best. It's pretty glitchy at times, and the school itself is pretty boring and generic, but like I said earlier, it's still being worked on, so hopefully it improves in a future update. Alright, so I got one more game I want to talk about today, but here's the thing, this game is the type of game that you want to go in fully blind and have no spoilers whatsoever, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a real quick non-spoiler review on this game, just to make it more interesting, so let's check it out. So the last game I'm going to be talking about in this video is called You and Me and Her. Wait, what about him? This is a visual novel game that was released in Japan back in 2013, but then came over to other countries many years later. This game may look like your standard dating sim, with you going on dates with the girl of your dreams, but in reality, it's a horror game in disguise. This game was what inspired Doki Doki Literature Club, meaning some stuff that you saw in DDLC were ideas that this game had in it. The game's story revolves around the main character, Shinichi, who is in a weird love triangle with these two girls named Miyuki and Aoi. Shinichi and Miyuki are the typical childhood friend characters, and Miyuki is very tsundere towards him. Meanwhile, Aoi... Don't worry, I'm not going to do that every time I say her name. It's a strange, awkward girl that he meets at school, who also becomes his friend. When you play through this game, you get to spend a lot of quality time with both of these girls. However, during your first playthrough, you can only have Miyuki as your love interest. You and her have a happy ending, you're together forever, blah blah blah, Aoi sucks. I mean, just look at those eyes, she looks like she just saw the new Velma show. However, typically in visual novels, people will replay the game to see alternate scenes and get a different ending. And if you do a second playthrough, then you can pick Aoi as your love interest this time around. Great, what could go wrong? Do I still have my receipt for this game? So here's where the game truly gets dark. In your second playthrough, Miyuki remembers everything that occurred during your first playthrough and gets really pissed off at you for being unfaithful. This leads to Miyuki going completely insane and doing tons of terrible things. And it even gets worse as you play on because the game breaks the fourth wall and Miyuki tries to talk to the player while you're playing through the game. She ends up trapping you, the player, in her apartment and you have to find a way to escape from her. See, Doki Doki borrowed a lot of ideas from this game, but these two games are still far different from each other. This game's even more dark and brutal than DDLC, and with voice acting added, it really makes things more interesting. The game has this unsettling feeling that you experience while playing through it, like you know something bad is about to happen. Now, like I said earlier, I don't want to dive too deep into the game's story because of spoilers, but let me just wrap things up here by saying this. You and Me and Her is a fantastic visual novel that takes the stereotypical dating sim formula and twists it up like SpongeBob trying to tie his shoes. The game has an amazing storyline that keeps you on your toes. It has everything in its power to make you feel uncomfortable, but in a good way. The visuals, music, and writing makes this game feel super special, and the fourth wall breaks make you really feel like the characters are actual real people. And honestly, out of all the games I played in this video, I gotta say, this one was probably the best one. In fact, just for fun, let's rank all 8 games I played in this video. In last place at number 8, Scary Wife HD anime horror game. A horrible game that has no right to exist. Number 7, John Doe. This dude looks creepy, but the game is even worse. Number 6, Yandere Escape Plus. An alright game, but a bit too frustrating to play. Number 5, Yanderella. A pretty good story, but a lot of things in it didn't age too well. Number 4, Space Yandere. A cute and unique RPG Maker game with great art and cool robots. Number 3, Crimson Gray. I definitely felt gray after this, but in a really good way. Number 2, Level Up School Days. Everything I wanted in a Yandere horror game, and more. Plus it even has Dark Souls elements in it. Number 1, You, Me, and Her. A fantastic visual novel from start to finish that made me appreciate visual novels even more. So yeah, that's my ranking for the video on all the games I played today, and I'll admit, Yandere themed video games are actually pretty fun. Hopefully in the future we get some more because I'd love to check out some other ones in future videos. I mean, hey, you can talk to a Yandere AI bot now. So we pretty much know our future is screwed over by Yanderes. So yeah, those are some Yandere themed video games, and after playing through all of them, it made me appreciate the Yandere type of character even more. Hopefully Kurumi and Rem learned something today too. Wait, where are they? Oh no, Kurumi's making Rem buy Fortnite V-Bucks! She truly is insane for making her do that. Wait, is she using my credit card too? I should have gotten a buy one death, get one death free offer instead. Well, see ya! So, why don't we go ahead and look at them? I mean, we already done some video games, so why not cartoons? Oh yeah, it's something about the dog, I think. This game is just... it's just so bad, I can't get over it. I always loved playing these Sonic video games because they were my childhood and everything, and even ROM hacks and bootlegs can be fun to play. Alright, time to get to work. Hold on, B, time to head home. Like toilet trouble for crying out loud. Who the heck wants this? I hope you guys enjoy this game, because I know I did. But is it still good though? Let's find out now. Looking at this world map makes me think of the world map from Sonic Unleashed. I'm sure the music would fit perfectly here. Must have been the wind. Man, I'm actually gonna get laid in this game?
I smell someone being horny!